Today, let's talk about what modules are included in A-level economics in 2025. Now, economics is not just another A-level subject, it's a way of seeing the world. It explains why prices are rising, why jobs change, why government make the choices that they do, and how every decision, big or small, creates ripples across society. So studying A-level economics gives you the power to connect classroom theory with real-world reality. As we move into 2025 and beyond, the world of economics has never been more relevant. From the lingering impacts of inflation and global trade tensions to debates about climate change, inequality, and technology-driven growth, the A-level syllabus reflects the changing dynamics. It's not just about memorizing models and graphs, it's about understanding how people, markets, and government interact to shape the global economy. So today, let's explore the top 5 modules in A-level economics, the ones that form the foundation of your understanding to give you the analytical skills to think like a real economist. Whether you're just starting the course or prepping for your final exams, these modules are the heart of your journey towards mastering the subject. Module number 1, Microeconomics. Microeconomics is where it all begins, the study of how individual consumers and firms make decisions. In this module, you explore how markets allocate resources, how prices are determined, and what happens when the market fails. You analyze concepts like supply and demand, elasticity, consumer and producer surplus, and market structures such as perfect competition and monopolies. For example, have you ever wondered why the price of your favorite concert tickets can skyrocket overnight? Or why some brands can charge double the price and still sell out? Microeconomics holds the answers. You also explore elasticity, which measures how responsive demand or supply is to a change in price, income, or related goods. It explains why luxury goods see demand fall quickly when price rises, while necessity like medicine don't. These concepts help you see that economics isn't just about numbers, it's about behaviors. You study behavioral economics, which looks at how emotions and psychology affect decision-making. The human side of economics helps explain why people sometimes make irrational decisions, like overspending or procrastinating, even when logic suggests otherwise. Microeconomics lays the foundation for analytical thinking. It teaches you how to break problems into smaller parts, identify cause and effect, and evaluate consequences. These are the skills that go far beyond the classroom, skills that economists, entrepreneurs, and policymakers use every day. Module number 2, Macroeconomics. Now, if microeconomics is about individual decisions, macroeconomics zoom out to look at the economy as a whole. This module is where you learn about how the entire countries, governments, and financial systems interact. Macroeconomics asks the bigger questions. What causes inflation? Why do recessions happen? How do interest rates affect growth and employment? What role should government play in stabilizing the economy? You study the major macro objectives like economic growth, inflation, full employment, balance of payment stability, and learn how the policies are used to achieve them. For instance, when inflation in the UK hit record highs, the Bank of England raised interest rates to slow down spending. Understanding why and how they made that decision is what macroeconomics is all about. This module also introduced key policy debates, like should government spend more to boost growth or cut spending to reduce national debt? Is monetary policy more effective than fiscal policy? What happens when global shocks happen, like another pandemic or a war or trade war? How does that disrupt trade and investment? What makes macroeconomics so fascinating in its immediacy? Every headline, from rising fuel prices to government budgets, this ties back to something you study here. By mastering this module, you gain not only exam marks, but also insights of how the world really works, how economies boom, stubble, recover, and repeat. Module number 3, Market Failure and Government Interventions. Now, markets sometimes work well on their own, but they aren't perfect. Sometimes they lead to outcomes that hurt society, like pollution, inequality, underfunded healthcare, or financial crisis. This is where this module, Market Failure and Government Intervention, comes in. Here, you learn to identify when market fails and how government can step in to correct them. You'll explore concepts such as externalities, which is when third parties are affected by economic actions, public goods, things like street lighting or national defense that private markets wouldn't provide on their own, merit and demerit goods, while education and healthcare often need government support, while cigarettes or alcohol may need some regulation. You also analyze the policy tools that government use to fix these problems, like taxation, subsidies, regulation, and even direct provision of goods and services. For example, when the UK government introduced subsidies for electrical vehicles, it wasn't just about promoting car sales, it was about reducing negative externalities from fossil fuels. This module teaches you how to balance efficiency with fairness, a central theme in modern economics. Should the government intervene in every case? Or can intervention sometimes make things worse? These are real complex questions with no single right answers. So your ability to evaluate them is what earns you top marks in essays. Market failure and government intervention sits at a crossroad of economics and ethics. It asks not just how the economy works, but how it should work. And that makes it one of the more intellectually exciting modules in this course. Module 4, International and Development Economics. Now, in today's world, no economy exists in isolation. What happens in one country can ripple across the globe through trade, finance, migration, and technology. The International and Development Economics module opens your eyes to this reality. You study how countries trade, why some grow faster than the others, and what policies can promote sustainable development. So topics include globalization and international trade, which is how countries specialize in exchange goods, exchange rate, how currency values go up and down, economic development, so why some nations remain poor while others prosper, and the role of international institutions such as the IMF and the World Bank. This module brings together theory and humanity. You'll explore issues like poverty, inequality, and sustainability, not just through numbers, but through people's lives. For example, you might analyze how microfinancing can help small businesses in developing countries, or how fair trade schemes empower local communities. What makes this topic so inspiring is its relevance. In a world grappling with climate change and trade tensions and rising inequality, global economics feel more urgent than ever before. It pushes you to think critically about questions that shape our future. Like, how can we make growth more sustainable? What does fairness mean in today's global economy? Can capitalism evolve to serve both profit and people? By the end of this module, you'll realize that economics is not just about graphs and equations. It's about people, progress, and purpose. Module 5, Economic Policy and Evaluation. Now, economic policy and evaluation is where everything comes together. It's not enough to just know the theories. You have to apply, analyze, and evaluate them. This is where you develop the critical thinking skills that separates good students from great economists. Here, you assess how well different policies work in practice by weighing the pros and cons of, say, rising taxes, cutting interest rates, more government spending. You'll be asked to think like an economist. Let's consider the short-term effects, but also the long-term consequences. For instance, when government introduce price caps on energy bills, you'll be able to evaluate whether that helps consumers or whether that distorts the market. When the central bank adjusts the interest rate, you'll discuss whether that's the best way to control inflation. This module is all about evaluation, using evidence and reasoning to form a balanced judgment. You'll learn to use phrases like in the short term, it depends on, ceteris paribus, to show sophistication in your writing. It's also where you develop your essay and exam technique, writing structured, evidence-based arguments that will ultimately impress the examiners. But beyond the exams, this module shapes how you see the world. You'll never read a headline about taxes or trade the same way again, because you learn to think deeper, to question the assumptions, and to understand the forces behind that news piece. That's the power of economics. It gives you not just the knowledge, but a mindset, which is a critical thinking way that stays with you long after the exams are over. So to summarize, the A-level in economics is not just a qualification. It's an education in how the world really works. Each module builds your understanding, sharpens your thinking, and prepares you for a future where economic literacy is more important than ever before. Let's recap the top 5 modules. Microeconomics, that's the science of individual choices and markets. Macroeconomics, the big picture of national and global economics. Market failure and government intervention, understanding when and why policies are needed. International and development economics, exploring trade, inequality, and progress in an interconnected world. Economic policy and evaluation, applying knowledge, analyzing outcomes, and forming critical judgments. Each of these modules build on the last one, helping you grow from a curious student into an analytical thinker. Remember, economics is not just about passing an exam. It's about understanding the forces that shapes our lives, our countries, and our future. So approach each of these modules with curiosity, connect the theory with the world around you, and keep asking the question that defines every great economist. Why? When you understand the why, the how will follow. If you found this video to be useful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel where we'll give tutors like you the insider knowledge you need to get ahead and helping you get the best grades possible. Together, we will help you thrive to reach your academic and admission goals. So if you would like to improve your academic performance and achieve admission success, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me or with our team of professionals. The contact information is on your screen right now. I'm Dickson Wong from The Profs. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the very best of luck with your studies.